Hello and welcome to Silkeborg, Denmark. It's been a bit wet so far in midwestern Jutland, the area by many regarded as the most beautiful in Denmark, hilly and lush, but also a charming city centre with lots to offer. The Silkeborg Hovedgård was built between 1767 and 1770, a museum today, as we now enter the Silkeborg Sports Centre for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Germany will play Japan in session 4. My name is Sander Ulvåg, and I'm joined by the always knowledgeable Kenny Edwards. Good afternoon to you.
Thanks, Sander.
I just heard the Flower of Scotland. It was Team Scotland being honoured as we make it into this beautiful venue. Our eyes will be on Germany and Japan. Let's meet the teams. For Germany at lead, we have Anna-Lena Jentsch. Second, Clara Hermeni Thum. Playing third rocks for Germany, Emira Abbas. And team skip for Germany, Daniela Jentsch. And the lineup for Team Japan at lead, we have Hasumi Ishigoka. Skip and throwing second stones, Saina Nakajima. With the third rocks for Japan, Chiaki Matsumura. And throwing the brick, the fourth stones for Japan, Ikue Kitasawa. Well, all about to get the ball rolling here. We've played a few draws already, this being number 4. 13 teams in the competition. 4 sheets of ice, 4 games. And as the teams will just make their final preparations here, we'll have a look at the standing. It's China, Japan, Russia, and Korea all undefeated so far at the top, with Canada, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, and USA to follow. Scotland, Denmark, Finland, and Latvia yet to pick up a win here in Silkeborg. And these are the games this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on those as well. Scotland will take on China, Switzerland play Sweden, and Russia will also play Korea. But our main focus will be on that Germany-Japan game. Japan undefeated so far, 2 wins. Germany sitting at 1-1. And Japan would quite like to keep their momentum up, and Germany would obviously not want to drop a second game so early in the competition. Kenny.
Yeah, it's Japan that probably come into this with their tails up. Germany falling to Team Canada in the session 3 earlier today. It's no great shakes though. There's 12 round-robin games in this format, and you only need to be in the top 6 to make the playoffs. But like you say, Germany don't want to go and lose another one here early on. 0-2 for the day. You're not going to have a good night's sleep with that. But Japan, 2-0. I think they're certainly going to have their tails up. They're playing well. They're calling the game really well as well, Sander. They're doing the right things. Yeah, team's just about to get themselves ready to go. It will be Japan with last stone advantage.
Yeah, both teams with a pre-game practice. They will throw 2 stones each to the center of the house. That is measured, and there you see the score. Germany with 123 centimeters, Japan with 30. So they win that last stone advantage, and of course the accumulative draws, they can make a difference at the end of the week as well when we need tiebreakers. If teams are tied for win-loss record, you might see a team out on draw shot challenge. But it's so important to win that last stone as well. Maybe score 2 early and take a strong hold of the game right off the bat, as we see Anna-Lena Jentsch, 21 years old. Throw the first stone of this game in Germany. They're looking for the center guard.
Yeah, Germany coming into this matchup or into this tournament off the back of a bronze medal at the European Championships. So they have shown a bit of form this year.
Yeah, done well on the tour as well, and I think it's a team that many have expected to maybe do slightly better. They're a very fit group of players and do seem to practice and play a lot, and maybe things are just finally happening for the Germans as we see Asumi Ishigoka with her first stone of this game. Bit of a new leaf for many, this Japanese team. Many used to seeing the team of Fujisawa, the 2016 silver medalists. Well, this young foursome actually beat Fujisawa all of 3 times at the Japanese championship, and that's why they're here, to represent the Japanese flag, and so far doing well.
Yeah, for sure, Sander. Certainly earned their right to be here at the World Championships.
Comes up a bit short, Ishigoka, so a couple of staggered center guards early as Annalena Jentsch tries to come around, not fully buried.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how Germany approach this. Earlier today, I watched the game against Canada as we take a look at the rules of play.
Yeah, 6 ends minimum, although the game is scheduled for 10. Both teams will get 38 minutes of thinking time, and they have that 60-second timeout coach interaction. They might use at any given point of the game. Of course, the 5-rock rule is into play as well this season, making things a bit more interesting, shaking up the strategy a bit for all teams this season. So I'm sure we'll see how that comes into play as well later on in the game.
Yeah, just jumping back to tactically of Team Germany earlier today, they were first couple of ends they were rather defensive until they found their feet and got a grip of the ice, but maybe they're going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Clara had me in a thumb. Looking for the hit and roll off the yellow here. Slightly over curling. It rolls to a new spot for Japan. Always good to leave your opposition a different shot, at least.
Yeah, I can see that red stone fully open. Nakajima for Japan. Just trying to get past this tight guard, but just catches the red. Doesn't manage to remove it in place, so leaves Germany sitting 2. But that's what I like about this young Japanese side. They're not too worried. First end, they're sitting 2 against. Germany's still got another stone to come. They're not worried yet. They really do seem to be enjoying themselves out there.
Chance for Fum to come around here. See that nice late finish on the rock. To get buried around that center guard. Saina Nikajima. Her second stone here. Looking for the hit and roll off the back red. That's just going to sit right there.
Yeah, they were looking to roll underneath to try and get some protection from the long yellow and the red that's in the white 8-foot area. Imara Abes just indicating that I think she's played a lot of weight in this one, so they shouldn't curl as much. They do make the nose hit also.
Chiaki Matsumura.
They're not playing a lot of weight at this, Sander. Trying to control the shooting stone. And that's the benefit of not playing a lot of weight. You can make these rolls a lot easier. It has covered the right side of this one.
Abbas.
This one on the guard, Sander. What's passed and makes the take out and rolls to the edge of the 8 foot.
Very nicely played there, and Germany lies 3, although that yellow forfeit very open still for Japan.
Sweeping this one from the get-go. Lots of rotation on this. Again, should keep it straighter with lots of rotation.
So with that rollout now, Germany can really place their next one anywhere. No Japanese counter to worry about.
Nach außen sind wir jetzt halt noch gar nicht gegangen. Da wird's nicht.
Ja, ist auch gut.
Nee, weil sie gerade so nach außen.
Ich glaube, das reicht.
Wie immer. Wie immer? Ja. Ich glaube, der muss schon sicher weiter 4. Ja.
Oder gehen wir selber, ne?
Ja. Ja. Darf der auch vorne 8 sein oder muss der sicher 4 Fuß? Läuft wie immer.
Ja.
Okay, wie läuft wie immer, ja.
Auf dich.
Länge hast du ja.
Ich glaube, es reicht vom Eis, aber wir können ja dann zum Schluss noch curlen.
There's an opportunity for Germany and Daniela Jentsch. We'll be looking for this one in on top of the red or just slightly in behind it. Great sweep by the front end.
Doesn't quite make it past thrown red here. Might have left a double for Japan. Could slash those reds. The risk as you do roll out and leave the same draw again for Jentsch. Might be worth it though, just to open it up a bit here and kill a few reds. Take some pressure off of you for the last one.
Yeah, even just half stone this one. Roll your shooting stone out of play. Open up that 4 foot area.
Okay.
Very difficult to play the double and hold your shooting stone in shot position.
Oh, huge weight here. From Kitasawa, makes the double, actually jams on the side, but
yep.
2 reds fly anyway. Very accurate with those big weights, Kitasawa. There's a lot of rotation.
Yeah, a lot of rotation. Maybe just caught this one a little bit thinner than they would have liked.
That does the job. But of course, still leaves that draw in around the center guard for Daniela Jentsch. She just played it, so should have a pretty decent guess of weight and line here. Played her first World Championship back in 2000. Danielle Jensch placed 6th. She's on the 3rd rocks at that point, as we see the hog-to-hog stopwatch up to give us an indication of the speed of the ice just between those two black hog lines. We've been seeing usually around between 14 and 14 and a half. 13.9 could definitely indicate that this is running a bit hot for Jensch. And just trying to drag it a little farther to get it buried. So ice is pretty keen already here in the first end.
Ja.
That just up a bit too deep, and you can see how that double by Kitasawa, then a slight hiccup from Jensch now leaves a lot of room to score. So now having to go from that big weight to the touch shot, Ikue Kitasawa. Only 22, playing with lots of confidence so far.
Yeah, really playing as if she's been at these World Championships before. This one looks as if pretty good. Yeah, just keeping this one clean.
Yeah, just some light dusting here. Might even have the backing. Don't need it though. I'll just settle on the back 4. Beautiful draw by Kitasawa. 2 pistols from her early. It is 1 point for Japan. They lead it 1-0 after one end of play here in Denmark. Team Japan will get the second end started here. They score 1 in the first. Get a good look of how these stones actually curl. Essentially throw it to the wings, add rotation, and then the stone will curl back towards the center. If you ever threw a stone just down the center line, then most likely your stone would end up on the wings. And if you didn't throw any rotation at all, it would be, well, the stone would just choose to go a certain way anyway.
Yeah, very unpredictable if you don't throw a rotation on the stone. 2.5 to 3 is probably the amount of rotation you want on a stone, all the way down from tee to tee.
And you can see some players throw more than that, and they might change that, all depending on the ice conditions. If the ice is running straight or curling a lot. So far, it seems to be quite a good amount of curl on the ice. See the broom is placed just outside the middle of the 12th foot, so that's indicating just slightly more than 5 feet of curl. And even with that center guard being on the opposite side of the center line, we're looking at closer to 6 feet of curl for Asumi Ishigoka. And of course, the players might differ a bit as well, depending on how they throw. So not lots of rotation for Ishigoka here, as you can see, and with that just be less handle, it will grab a bit more and move a bit more sideways. And clearly they put that broom in the right spot, because that is a perfect draw for the lead. And Daniela Jensch will put the broom slightly more narrow for her sister, Annalena. She might have a bit more rotation, or a bit more of an inside-out motion as she lets go. We'll have the stone track a bit more before it starts to make that bend. As we see Fom and Abbas just really sweeping this one to get it far enough. And it doesn't quite get there. Of course, when you're having to sweep a rock as well coast to coast, sometimes you take some of the curl out of it.
Yeah, that one just pulling up short and sitting wide open. So Japan just going to ignore it. They're going to elect to draw around.
Well, Scotland, China are in the first end here. Sophie Jackson with last stone.
Yeah, Sophie Jackson with last stone. It looks like a double on these outside yellow stones. She can make the double, she will score 2. Need to hold that red stone in the 12 foot though. Well, caught that top yellow, and they've actually bumped another one in for shot, and it's going to be a steal of 2 for China. So a bit of a disastrous start for the young Scottish skip.
Jumping on over to Switzerland, Sweden as well. Looks like Switzerland with shot stone as Anna Hasselborg to throw.
Anna Hasselborg just needs 8 foot with this one.
Just for the single?
Yeah, just for the single. Fully expected to make this one.
Just slightly dusting this one onto the red rock, and that is 1 point for Sweden. They lead it by 1 after 1 end of play. A big game there as they play Switzerland. And on our sheet, we saw a nice come around by Japan, an attempted run back by Germany, but it is Japan to lie 2, and behind 2 staggered center guards here.
Yeah, Japan just looking to draw another one round in behind. Clutter that center area up. They could ever get one in right on top of that yellow. It'd look really good for picking up a steal in the second end. Well, that one just pulls up a little short, but does act as a guard.
Big weight here, trying to move some ground at 1 and 2, and rolls the shooter away. Very good shot there, opens up that center line.
Well, it does spin another yellow into the scoring area. Japan sitting 1 and 2. Looks like Germany sitting 3 and 4.
Well, that one doesn't curl quite as much. We'll see if Germany will be tempted to make a play on that redstone top 12. Looks just accessible as we see the time clocks there behind the coach's bench. And Uli Kapp, one of the legends of curling in Germany and international curling as well. Playing with brother Andy Kapp for many years. As we see a bit of a lucky pinball action here. Wow. That is something special.
Rather fortunate.
Well, so tried to get past that top guard to get to their own red. Redirects off the center, off the corner, onto the button to lie shot. That's when you might turn around to your opponent and say, sorry. That definitely not intended, and a very fortunate result. I don't think you could draw that up on the board.
Yeah, Yuzuki Morozumi. I don't think that was from the textbook, let's say, Sander. But we've got red in there.
Yosuke Morozumi, of course, kept his Japanese men's team for many, many years. Made it to lots of world championships. Always struggled to get to the Olympics until last year. Made it to Pyeongchang to finish on a high note on a spectacular curling career. Might see him play again, we never know. Spoke to his brother, Kosuke, who's here doing commentary for Japanese TV. And he seemed keen to maybe play again. You don't see curlers retire for too long before they might come back with another effort, but we will see. Just comes half checked around here. So it makes it very hard for Germany to run that redstone back. Overlapped. And I think the task for Abbas here is to get maybe half a row in red here, kill that yellow, maybe even try and spin the shooter onto the rings. This one's going to be just a little bit high. Makes the little slash, but loses the shooter.
Japan just trying to make it very difficult for Germany to score two. So having a bit of a chat about this one. All four athletes down discussing what the call should be. And they've agreed that this one should just be a couple of feet short of the house. That blue 12-foot area. Yeah, happy to give up one. The second end. Well, they've changed their mind now, and they're electing to run this one back right on the nose. Lots away. Must be close. One makes contact with the second red, but just hears it and removes one of our own yellow stones.
den leicht tappen.
Ja,
Very unfortunate.
aber sicher.
Ich denke fast, der Tap ist besser, weil wenn man nur Freeze liegen, dann kann sie wieder draufhauen und sind wieder irgendwann der Gegner drauf.
See that again, just overcurled by a fraction. Actually able to touch that red stone on the button, just not enough to actually kill it. And as you say, it touches those yellows as well. Germany still with shot stone here.
Da sind wir ja jetzt ein paar Mal drüber. Ja. So wie dein erster.
Ich glaube auch. Ja, auf geht's. Gut. Freeze ist gut, ansonsten leicht tappen.
Okay, sagt einfach, wie die Linie
ja.
ist.
Wichtig ist, dass er über die Center kommt.
Ja, okay. Auf geht's.
Vorne 8.
Ich brauche Länge.
Ja.
Vorne 12.
Ja. Vorne 8.
Voll durch. Vorne 12.
Voll durch. Vorne 8.
Looking for this one right on top of the red this time.
Wenn's geht, Curlen.
Going
Vorne 8.
hog to hog on this one.
Wenn's geht, Curlen.
Yeah,
Trying to drag it down.
Huge sweep. You can see Form also then switching over to try and sweep, to try and carve it in, as needs to curl a bit as well, but ends up in a pretty good spot there, top 4. Just have checked on their own red. I don't think the double's on for Japan here.
Ja, wer liegt da als Double, gell? Ja. Weil ihr halt ewig draußen gehalten habt.
Die mussten, aber der war langsam.
Ja. Konnten halt den Leck.
Very difficult to play the double and hold your shooter in behind. I just think they've covered enough of the inside.
Yeah, going to try and run this yellow onto the 2 reds. Will the shot stone jam on that yellow in the back 8?
Yeah, I think so. I think it would stick, maybe squeeze to the right-hand side.
Got to be a little bit careful here. Catch it maybe too thin. And just graze the top of the red. You might just kill your own yellow here. Could leave Germany sitting 3. They're very unfortunate. Don't want to be too wide with this one.
What this young Japanese side do is they play every shot with so much confidence.
Well, they do kill that one red. The second one goes as well, but actually jams on the side. So Germany does like 2.
And it's going to leave an opportunity for Germany to score 3 as we roll this shot. Yellow into the reds, and that shooting stone just doesn't hang around.
It's unfortunate to jam on the side there. For Japan, you look back to Aba's first throw, that pinball shot that set up the end. Japan's just been a little unfortunate with a couple of their results. It doesn't take much in curling, just a little bit of fortune, a little bit of luck. Can go a long way, and all of a sudden Germany, the chance to score 3. It was a great draw for their first one. Danielle Jensch to set it up as well, though. Won't take that away from her, as now she plays her second rock, and it finds the forfeit. 2 beautiful draws by the skipper. That is 3 points for Germany. And hard to see that coming halfway through that second end, but the score is 3-1 for Germany over Japan.
Okay, ja, super, seid ihr bei mir.
Mann, sorry.
Klong.
Aber war das die Spur? Hat er was gefangen?
Nee, der war ein bisschen eng geschoben, aber der war unhaltbar. Ich weiß nicht,
Nee, weil der
aber der hat ja, da war ich halt dann super schissig, da habe ich dann eher mehr und also von allem zu viel können. Ja, okay. Aber der Draw.
Bitte? Ja, deiner war einfach eine halbe Sekunde zu spät. Okay.
Geh mal rein.
2 vorne, ja.
Eher flüssig.
Vorne 8. Vorne 4.
Vorne 2, vorne 8. Schaust du, ich glaube, der ist gut. Emmy, ich glaube, der ist gut.
Vorne 4.
Another big sweep from the Germans here. Certainly able to use their fitness. And, you know, some might say sweeping is about correcting mistakes, but it's really more about perfecting the shots, and you use sweeping to do that. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can enhance a stone, let's say. That'd be the word I would use. But it's a long week for these players. Sweeping for 2.5 to 3 hours out there on the ice, 2 games a day. It's a lot of work.
You certainly don't want to be going coast to coast on every throw in every game. But you'll usually see players, if they play a draw to the button, they'll throw that just a couple of feet light and have their sweepers control that in. If they throw a draw an inch too far, there's no way to actually stop the rock. No legal way anyway. All you can do is just stay away and hope that it will settle down. As you see the sweepers on it again here. Trying to bring this close to the rings, ends up actually nibbling the rings. Didn't quite have the line for the guard, so that's why they wanted to bring that one a bit closer.
So there's the shot from the player's end down onto the head or the house. And that's a really nice takeout.
Ja, 10 ist gut.
Ja, vorhin war ich 10,5. Ich komm.
Germany remove the yellow, hold the shooter as well. Well, they ignore that and come around it. I think at this stage you're 2 down, you're into the second stones. I might maybe like just to come around that red top of the 12-foot. I don't mind the hit and roll either, but the corner guard's pretty long. That's what they're electing to do.
Not playing huge weight here. It's more of a split, really. See from the broom position there. The harder you throw it, the less it will curl. So, throwing a very controlled way here. Might not even remove that red rock from play. More worried about getting the placement here. They do roll a bit to the wing. They do actually kill that red as they just overcurled ever so slightly as we make our journey over to sheet D. Russia plays Korea.
Yep. Russia looking to try and get in to level this matchup. Kovaleva for Russia.
Wow. Sweep, sweep.
Gets past the yellow guard.
Yes, support.
Drops this one right on the button for a single. So that game all tied after 2 ends. Still plenty of chances for Japan, but this one's just going to over curl. They're not going to get a hide. Well, that's, for me, not a great shot from Team Germany. Allowed the guard to be short of the house. So Japan can now use that to come around.
Looking at all the scores in here, you see China, a steal of 4, now 6 up on Scotland. Sweden still with that 1 point lead on Switzerland, and as we saw, just tied between Russia and Korea. Just trying to come around this red stone, all heavy, and it'll slip all the way to the back of the 12, just hanging on for second shot.
It's okay there, Sander, because what it does do is it forces Danielle Jentsch to think about it. Might not be in a too dangerous position now, but it might come into play later on in the end.
Vorne 4. T-Line. T-Line. Platz ist gut. T-Line. Hinten 8. Wow. Hinten 8. Noch keine Auflage. Braucht die Auflage. Hat gar nichts. Braucht die Auflage. Hat nichts. Hat gar nichts. Nee. Nee, da geht nichts.
Well, that one just goes all the way through. Maybe overthinking that one. They wanted to play the draw. Didn't mind coming all the way down to the yellow. Certainly didn't want to go all the way through, not making contact with the yellow. Now allows Japan to come around once more. Could hit that open red and sit 2, but want to take advantage here. Come around, sit 2 buried. Will be first and third shot. That's really going to put some pressure on Germany. That's probably the way you potentially score your 3. Looking like better weight this time. Waiting for this one to move over and starting to dig in now. And there you go, a nice draw.
Yeah, really nice draw.
Wie viel Luft hast du denn da?
Müsste wenn dann von innen kommen.
Ja.
Martin. Nase. Nase. Ja.
Jetzt zur Not ist wenigstens auf und wir können den dann.
See the curl. Very late, isn't it, Sander?
Yeah, that's what the players like. Just have that go straight. Makes it a little bit easier to call, and you get that finish. So you can come around those guards, even if they're tight to the rings like that red one is. And that is just about fully buried.
Was meinst du?
Ja.
Ja.
Nase braucht man.
Ja.
So viel. Ja.
Viel, oder?
Ja.
Peel, Nase on the nose, which would mean just right on the beak, or right center on the stone, wanting to hit this red stone. Straight back onto the yellows.
I don't want to hit and roll with this, or potentially could just give up a soft 2. Don't make the run back, could even give up 3.
Ein Shooter, wenn es geht, dann weg, falls wir nicht treffen.
Lots of weight on this one from Danielle Jentsch. As she made the run back. There goes 1, 2. She spun the red in.
Well, she's opened up that back yellow at least, and leaves the center guard more or less. It might just be on the rings. And now Japan will make the open hit to set 2.
Halt richtig weit nach außen, die gelbe.
10. Ja.
We'll make the hit and stick to line 2, but now that redstone up front might be the saver for Daniel Enge. If you make the hit and roll in behind cover, you might take that deuce out of the picture for Japan. Off and on, all the way down. Should be close here. Next one. Gets the roll. How far? Not quite, but maybe. Tucks an inch in behind, and that might be enough. Japan can't really afford to hit this redstone too much on the high side. It would drive it back onto the back yellow. So they're going to have to come very close to the nose here and push that redstone out with controlled weight. And you're going to have to be careful here, Kenny. Throw soft weight. You ever kick that second red and you might give up a steal of 2 if you're very unlucky. Last stone of the third end for Ikue Kitasawa. So can't cross on the guard, but can't catch this red too high either. Just needs to be perfect, really. This one's hanging out there. This one needs to curl. Will it get over in time? Matsumura trying, but it does catch it a bit too high. Does run it onto the back yellow, but does stick around for the 1. So maybe a bit afraid of that center guard. Threw it just a bit too safe. Just the 1 point for Japan. Still not able to capitalize. Germany leads it 3-2.
Achso, weil wenn sie schreit Clara und ich dann ja und dann ja. Achso, ja, dann schreit nur noch den Namen. Sorry.
Ja.
Das war für mich klar. Nee, ich hätte nur von außen gebraucht.
Ja.
Okay.
3-2 the score. Germany leads it, and Japan will get this fourth end started. Only picking up singles so far when they've had the last on advantage. They've had their chances, just haven't quite been able to capitalize. They were a bit unfortunate in that second end, giving up a 3. But the game is very much open. And that guard just makes it just barely over the hog line. Interesting to see if Japan might choose to throw a second center guard closer to the rings, or just play this a bit defensively. As Annalena Jentsch will come up heavy, so. All the way through the rings. Unforced error. And the tight center guard is the call, especially now with no red stones in the house. Be good for Japan here. And Hasumi Ishigoka, couple center guards in play. It's a nice setup for a potential steal. That is very nicely played.
Yeah, it's a great setup. 2 center guards, great distance between them. There you see some of the fans in the stands.
Yeah, some great support for Japan this weekend. Both leads just playing a bit below the numbers we're expecting to see. But Jentsch has improved their draw weight here, finds top 4 as we jump on over to Switzerland, Sweden. It's Alina Petz who had last rock here. Not really touching this draw here, the Swiss sweepers. Just trying to grab enough of the button to score the 1. It goes too far, and that is a steal of 1 for Sweden. They will lead it 2-0 after 3 ends of play. And as she comes up a bit heavy, we see Japan coming up a bit light. These 3 center guards. And the question now for Germany, do you want to open it up, or do you come around to line 2? For Jentsch, she's quite happy to get too sucked in here early and have a whole mess. Would you ever consider just maybe slashing the 2 tight center guards instead of the top one, Kenny?
Potentially.
So long.
Potentially, because it's quite long. Yeah, you could go after the long guard.
I guess the double on those yellows will still be there later. Comes around this time. Hoping to more sit on top of the red, but sits back button for second shot.
Der liegt kurz over Tee. Also wenn du drauf legst, bist du halb auf der Tee. Doch, ich würde hierher.
Ja, okay. Ist lieber kürzer oder lieber länger?
Lieber ein bisschen Ende kürzer.
Maybe draw shot. Vorne 8.
Lass es gut, wo seid ihr?
Vorne 4.
Lass es gut.
Vorne 8, oder?
Wenn's geht, Körper.
Länge ist gut.
Wenn's geht, vorne 8. Geht nur, Emmy. Ja. Freeze, komm, vorne 8. Alles! Hard!
Weiter.
Oh, that's a really nice draw.
Good.
In behind from Form.
I have a little chat here as we see them discuss this shot, and we'll jump on over to Scotland, China. It's a 6-0 lead for the Chinese, and I believe a lineup change as well for Scotland.
Yeah, Lauren Gray is in at third. And Naomi Brown playing last stones. And this looks like it's a draw for 3 for Naomi Brown. Made the change after the second end. It's 6-0 down.
Might seem to pay off here. This draw is making its way into the forfeit score of 3. And Scotland, all of a sudden, a little bit back in the game. Still a long way.
Yeah, still a long way back. I believe Sophie Jackson, the skip of Team Scotland's off injured after the second end. So let's see if she's back for this evening's game.
Japan's made their call here. Did look to corner freeze the red stone in the top 8 foot. I think that might be the call. Either that or come right around it and into the pocket of the stones on the button. Seems to be coming all the way around here, but it's on that red and it's going to chip off. That's not a great result for Japan. Leaves those yellows exposed. Potential double for Germany. Two makes the double there. Amira Abes.
Shot. Abes didn't have a great game this morning, but certainly upped her game for this one against Japan, making everything. Germany sitting 3.
Just tickles the guard. Doesn't make contact with the red stone intended. They were hoping to come off of that and make a double. Just not quite looking the same Team Japan as they have been in the first 2 games. Just never been able to create any momentum. Just getting slightly frustrated. It's not that Germany's making all the shots either. And there's a miss again. They've just been making the right ones.
Or missing the right ones, Sander. I think that'd be the phrase.
Outcome is okay.
There's a nice double on the first one. Just rolls out on the second, so he ended up making the hard one. Missed the easier of the two. But Germany's still in pretty good shape. 2 rocks in behind cover.
Yeah, you always feel so far that Japan are chasing this game, aren't they? They're just never getting the stones in the right position to create a really clear-cut chance.
See if Ikue Kitasawa can make this run back. Trying to bail Japan out here. One makes contact with all rocks, but leaves red in behind. There might be a bit more of a stagger on the center guards now. It might be harder to run either yellow back on the next one. So close to perfection. See, they're just edge to edge, those guards. It'd be hard to run the top center guard straight back onto the red. Let's see if Daniela Jentsch can sink one in here. Set 2 buried. Would love to score another 2. Go 5-2 up on Japan. This one's starting to curl. Sweeping this for line. Needs to get it past the guard. And they are. Now how far?
Wow, what a
Is this
shot.
gonna go? Not too far. Makes a little bounce off the red shot stone, but that sits pretty much buried.
What a shot from Daniela Jentsch. Just stagger on them guards. Can she run the yellow back? I don't know. I don't think she can.
She could probably run the left yellow back. But it's very tough. Probably see what you need to make the essentially almost a slash run. Could get the double that way. If you've ever missed this, don't make contact with either red. You're giving up 3. The game's looking a bit shaky. Not a lot of great options though. Could maybe come in there and freeze for maybe second shot on the left-hand side.
So, big shot. Needs to make this to keep the game alive. Not making a call. Gets red off. None. Just pushes the red down into the 4. This is going to be an open draw for 3 for Germany.
Again, just so close. Just feathers that red with that kind of weight. It's almost inconceivable that they're not able to remove either red stone. And she knows that this is going to be an uphill struggle now. If Jentsch can put this just anywhere in the paint, score 3. It's just a a dream scenario so far for Germany. They got the force in the first end, scored a 3, another 4, so now can score 3 back. Should be pretty automatic here. Just played the draw. We'll take a bit more ice here, not to flirt with the guard. Super's pretty happy with this one. Just keeping it clean here. And Elena Jentsch. This one will wrap itself nicely around the guard and right down onto the button for 3. Wow. A great start by Germany. 4 ends played. They lead it 6-2.
Der andere war 14-2.
Okay. Er ist noch mehr gewischt, aber...
Okay. Ja, jetzt war er halt schön außen. Der erste hat irgendwie eine Angesprung bekommen.
Geh mal wieder vorne, ich gehe kurz raus. Ich komme gleich wieder raus.
Banane haben wir keine mehr, gell?
Früh losgelassen.
Einfach vorne 4.
6-2, the score. Germany have certainly been able to squeeze everything out of the end so far. It's been really been working for them.
Yeah, Germany have just done the basics right, Sander. Japan making things a little bit complicated, but trying to force the issue. Maybe leaving a little bit too many stones in play. Trying to be a little bit too aggressive. Asumi Ishiguka, the lead for a corner guard. This one's going to sit about the correct spot, just maybe a couple inches to the left, further than they would have liked.
Ähnlich, ist er sogar noch schneller. Vorne 4. Schneller.
Ist dran. Muss noch curlen.
Freeze. Hinten 4.
Muss noch curlen.
Hinten 4.
Wir haben noch keine Auflage. Nur von außen.
Germany looking to freeze this one in on top of their own red.
Ja, weiter.
Don't want to leave them side by side. A bit of a mistake.
Okay.
Either throw that one in on top or even throw it through. Certainly didn't want to be short. Leave something for Japan to use later in the end to hide behind. Wanting to throw the guard, but this one just drifting into the house. And Germany won't need asked again. They will take that out of play.
Ja, 10. Auf geht's, Clara.
Pushes the yellow through. Don't really want to hang around in behind that corner guard.
Okay.
So they were better rolling out of play.
Okay, nicht so schlecht.
So we're going to jump over to the matchup between Russia and Korea. Russia trailing by 1, but they do have last stone. Alina Kovaleva trying to draw against, looks like 2 Korean counters. Just needs to be fully 8 foot to level this matchup. Is this one looking a little heavy? Sweeper's not really touching it. That one's going to sit down. And it's going to be a single point for Russia, and that game is all tied after 4 at 2-2. Alina Pat playing a great thin double. Just unfortunate not to hang around for 3 points. There's a score of 2 to level that match against Sweden. That with the feature game though. It's Germany 6-2 ahead over Japan. Japan with 1 in behind the corner guard. But Germany really dictating the play in this matchup.
Die sehen gut aus, aber ich weiß eben nicht, was du zum Schluss machst, dass du so klar.
Coming around the corner guard here. Chiaki Matsumura. Not really touching it so far. Not too bad if it's deep, just need to get this one buried. They do.
Yeah, it's a really nice shot in behind there.
Just need to find some cover anywhere and get rocks in play. I wonder if you might see Germany follow it. If they want to hit the open one.
Die liegen beide besser. Sei das so, wenn wir den abspielen, dann wird sie irgendwann den machen.
Und da?
Ich überlege halt, ob wir eher den jetzt nehmen oder die Guard und versuchen, was mitzunehmen.
Können wir auch machen. Die Guard ist halt die einzige Chance, wo sie mehr machen kann.
Eben. Wenn die Guard mal weg ist, dann hat sie zwar den, aber wir haben immer einen Double.
Ja.
Well, they discuss their next call. I'm going to jump on over to Scotland, China, and Scotland in good form again here, lying 2.
Yeah, it's not as if they've been not creating chances, Sander. They've had chances in that to match up the score 2 in the first, and they had a chance of taking their single point in the second.
Wang Rei, one last rock here.
It's a piece of the button. And this one looking a little bit high for line at the moment, but it is out in the fresh ice. Certainly sitting 2, possibly 3.
Some running on it, might be a little too deep for Wang Rei and Team China. That's going to be a steal of at least 2.
Yeah, it is a steal of 2. Well, that's game on. It's China 6, Scotland 5.
Should be a fantastic comeback on the cards for Scotland.
Training
to put their skip on the bench due to injury. As we return to our game, we see Germany field the corner guard. And got the yellow one in the house. Still a fantastic shot. Now Japan trying to make the hit and roll. Leaves a double, but does a jam.
I think if you catch it thin enough, Sander, you're looking for around quarter stone. It's quite thin.
Ich finde den auch nicht schlecht. Wir müssen ja nicht nur den machen.
Weil ich finde den, der ist zu riskant.
Der ist schon riskant, da hast recht. Ich glaube, ich finde den gut.
Ich finde den auch gut. Einfach nur der, oder? Ja. Weil dann muss sie erstmal 2 loswerden.
Weil ich glaube, wenn du den Double spielst...
Ich glaube auch, dass der da hängen bleibt. Das ist mir unsympathisch.
Ich finde den eigentlich gut.
Finde ich auch besser. So, oder?
No, they're not going to take that chance.
If
you over curl, you jam the red, you don't get that second yellow. Now Japan's hitting or drawing to lie 3. So it looks like they're going to play a control weight at the shot stone here. Avoid the jam, try and leave the shooter for shot. And that way Germany can sit too.
Ich habe da noch nicht was gespielt, aber ich glaube, das passt.
Yeah, I really do need to hang around with this shooting stone, Sander, in the 8-foot.
You don't want to play so cute, you over curl and jam either. Delicate shot here for Daniel Jens. Sweeper's really on it, trying to hold the line here, and they do avoid that jam and sits right there in the 4-foot. Great shot by Jens and Team Germany. They might be lying 3 even. Hard to tell who's third shot. Japan's going to have to move some of them. Not playing huge weight here. So you see the time clocks in around 20 minutes left for both teams. Shouldn't be an issue. Would love to hit the top red here and maybe just get one of the head to the back on the way. Gets one. Jams it, but moves that third red. So now definitely Japan sitting first and third. Not a bad result. Might leave a double, but it's very flat. Jensch would have to throw real big weight to be able to jump across that far. And we'll see if they just play this controlled and try and roll it in to lie 2. You could roll this just across and sit a bit closer to the yellow.
Yeah, even just on the nose, as long as you remove the yellow from plate, they leave the double pretty hard to hang around.
Well, big weight here. We'll be looking for the double, but wow. That is nowhere close to hitting that yellow. That is just a really bad throw by Daniela Jensch to not even make contact with the yellow. It wasn't even really that close. That's a surprise. I think he just went for that a bit too hard. That little extension just set that one back. And that's miles away.
Yeah, just maybe slid down the center and didn't quite get out to the broom.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sander. Maybe just put a little bit too much weight on it. She should have just thrown the same weight as she did on the earlier one.
Yeah, you throw controlled weight, you just make the hit and roll over. Worst case, if you make a decent one, Japan still has to make a double and stick to score their 2. Now you've just given them a gift in hand here. Open draw for 3. It's made by Ikue Kitasawa. They can't believe it either. They scored 3, and they're right back in this game. But Germany will lead at 6-5 after 5 ends. Halftime now. Teams will have a 5-minute break to talk it over. And I'll be back for more.
Ja, doch, wenn wir den voll durchwischen, trifft man auf der Nase. Weil Schwischen voll durchtreffen auf der Nase und gut. Ja. Aber nicht zuschauen, wie er das Desaster produziert. Hä?
Third end. It is Ikue Kitasawa. Down by 2. Looking to chase the red counter here. Catching on the nose for 2, but catches it too high. Jams it. Hangs around for 1. And the fourth end. Kitasawa just missing the run back, leaves an open draw for Daniela Jensch to draw for 3. And that draw is made quite easily by the German skip. Great start for them. A 6-2 lead coming into the 5th end. And there's a huge mistake by Daniela Jensch to flash the hit on the yellow. Took out her own, leaves a draw for Japan to score 3 right back. And it's a 6-5 lead for Germany after 5. move on over to Switzerland, Sweden. And it looks like Sweden, line 2 as Anna Hasselborg throws her final rock, just pretty much needing to hit anywhere in the house here to take a 3-point lead coming into halftime. Gave up a 2 in the 4th. Alina Petz was very close to scoring 3 herself. As we see this one just being lightly dusted by Agnes Knockenhauer. Makes its way into the forfeit. 3 points for Sweden. They will lead it 5-2. For 5 ends, half-time there as well. And that's all the scores for it. China up 6-5 after having been up 6-0. And that 5-2 lead for Sweden also. Russia, Korea tied at 2 points each.
Okay. まあその辺、俺今全然違うシート見て30秒だと思ってた。C シート見てた。練習の感覚。だからまあ幅とかね、取り方とか一回落ちて、あと向こう行く時のさ、その3エンド目にさ一回ヒットロール2本ぐらいしてたじゃん。あれいつもだったら多分構えいってるかなって俺は思って。思った。ね、思ったね。
Und da schlagen sie kein Kapital raus, sie schießen hinten ganz gut, geht bloß vom Result bei denen nicht. Und wir haben davor richtig gute Steine gebracht. Wir haben die von der Länge her bis auf 1-2, wo wir sagen, wir liegen dran, haben sie genau da, wo wir sie brauchen. Und das ist das, wo man uns jetzt eine 6-2-Führung hingelegt hat. Jetzt kamen sie durch einen Fehlstein hin. Das ist aber überhaupt kein Thema. Weil wir so weitermachen, sind wir am Ende von der Stunde.
Looking at the numbers here, Germany 77% on Japan's 71%. Does anything stand out for you, Kenny? Maybe the hit percentages for Japan.
Well, you see the hit percentages, they're fairly level. They're maybe sort of 14% lower than Team Germany, but Germany should really be in control of this matchup. They should be 6-3 ahead with hammer into the 6th end, but they gave up a silly 3 in the 5th, which has allowed Japan just to hang on to them.
Yeah, a bit of a shocking end to that 5th end. And Japan very much in it as we now get going with the 6th end of play. And if you're just joining us, this is the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019, live from Silkeborg, Denmark. We're on day 2 of the championship. Draw 4. Japan has won both their first games. Germany sitting at 1 win, 1 loss. This is Anna-Lena Jentsch. Lead for Germany, looking to come around the center guard just placed by Japan. That one's just going to slip a fraction too deep. Will allow Japan to come right on top.
Chance to come around the centre. This back red.
Hat noch gut Platz!
This one looks okay for line, just swooping it down for weight. That's a really nice shot. Freezes that one right on the button.
Yeah, dead freeze there. Saina Nakajima.
And there's another great shot right in on top.
Clara Hermina Thom. To make a play on the center guard here.
Okay. Go, go, go.
Let's peel it. Rolls away.
Langsam. Nee, du musst die einfach sauberer spielen.
Japan going to elect to throw another centre because there's no cover for them out front. There's no real chance of them stealing a shot if they don't have any guards. Well, tries to drive that one back. Are you a little surprised, Sander, driving that one back?
Mega eng.
Well, you can see the risk in it, can't you? They were just hoping to maybe try and open up the scoring area a bit. But that was quite unfortunate to not make contact at all and leave the thrown rock splitting the center line. Chiaki Matsumura with a chance to come around again, I think. They just thrown the guard. Definitely not making its way to the house here. Wonder if that might have grabbed something. Ends up 10 feet short of the hog line. You can see the Japanese girls out there cleaning. Even Annalena Jensch comes out to have a little tidy. That's unfortunate. Just picked up some debris. Could be anything really. A bit of rubber from their anti-sliders. That does happen once in a while. It's just a part of the game. Now Germany just peeling the center guard. They are lying shot stone. Japan might be just happy to guard here and let Germany have their single point. There's not really a way in for two. Well, it doesn't quite split the center line here. So the see if Germany would be tempted to come around on the left-hand side here. Finally get to this forfeit situation. Maybe unravel the rocks a bit.
Wenn was wir machen können, ist das. Beziehungsweise sie macht halt dann zu. Weil sie ist dann Schott. Der wäre schon nicht schlecht, wenn wir hierher kommen könnten. Aber nicht, weil dann ist sie wahrscheinlich Schott danach, aber der liegt zumindest hier.
Das wäre nur so ein bisschen.
Ja.
Sie wird 5000 Garten davor spielen, deswegen finde ich, müssen wir.
Wie viel siehst du?
Fast ganz. Und die Garde ist eigentlich schon
10?
10, ich glaube, das geht. Ich glaube, 10 geht schon, oder? Wir haben den ja.
Auf geht's.
Yeah, so Germany now just going to like to try and blast this off the forefoot. I might be tempted to play a controlled weight. Just come down and push the yellow out to the side, maybe even hack weight. That red's going nowhere on the button.
I think you want to make sure you leave your shooter somewhere useful. They are not playing too much weight here. Hoping to maybe get some curl past the guard here, but doesn't quite get to the nose. And will just squeeze their own red out, leave Japan sitting shot. Not sure if that was tolerance for the shot here for Germany. Might have been better off catching the guard.
Yeah, for sure, Sander. Chance to throw a guard up anywhere short on the centre line.
Well, the guard's in place. Down to skip rocks for Daniela Jentsch. Looks like a force all day long here, at best, for the Germans. So, if you go hard to try and figure out a way to score 2, or try and play this as safe as possible to make sure you can score.
I think you've got to take them guards off, haven't you, Sander?
Yeah, I think so. Double them off. You might see Japan either then replace the guard or maybe just hit that redstone and lie 3. And if they do, then you have the open hit back to score your single. Be pretty happy with that, this situation. But they seem to think there's enough room to come around the center guard and push that yellow shot rock out. Just at least get it out of the forfeit. Could be lying 2. That's the more aggressive call. Of course, if you don't make the double peel, you only get the 1. It's not helping you very much. Again, just a little bit wide for a line here. Getting closer. Will it get to the yellow at all? It does just nudge it over, but not far enough. Japan still lies 1.
Yeah, it was very unlucky. Just a hair lighter. Things just not going right for Germany now. We've seen this earlier this morning. First 2 to 3 ends, they were really hot, really on fire. And as soon as things didn't go their way, they just couldn't regather themselves and build or construct an end again.
It was a tough shot, though. I mean, they came very close to that centre guard, didn't throw a lot of weight, just barely hack weight, and still couldn't quite finish around and get to the yellow enough. Almost just had to play a heavy draw there to try and leave your shooter in the top 4. And that's exactly what Kitasawa is looking for now. Play the draw, put this top 4, lie 2 buried, and say, okay, Jens, well, here we go, try and score. This one hung a bit wide for Japan. Just had to wait for the line there, couldn't really sweep it for weight. Ends up choking off that out-turn draw for Jens. But is there enough room to get around on the right-hand side, the in-turn to the shot stone, maybe even push it back for 2?
Certainly think there's a chance there, Sander. Got it, your weight's got to be right though. This just will not pull if you're throwing back ring. Got to be so accurate.
Just throw back 8 weight, just enough to push that yellow rock out of the yellow forfeit. You could score your 2. Last stone here, 6th end. Facing 1 Japanese shot stone. Could be 2 for Germany. But this one also tracking.
This one just needs to pick a curl now. There's lots of rotation on it.
Just trying to carve it in to get to the yellow. They make contact, but again, just not enough to move it out of the forfeit. That rock. Very hard on the Germans. Wouldn't leave the forfeit, and that hangs around. And it's a steal of 1 for Japan, and it's a tied game, 6-6.
Spielt keine Rolle, spielt keine Rolle. Wer so schlecht ist.
Im 7.
Hör auf, das einzureden, Dani.
Einfach nur schlecht. Hat er doch ganz deutlich gesagt.
It's all tied up, 6 each after 6 ends. It's been a good comeback by Japan. They were 4 down after 4 ends. Score of 4, right back in it. Germany with last stone here in 7. Some big shoes to fill for Daniela Jentsch, of course. Long-time skip for Germany, Andreas Schopp, with 2 World Championship gold medals. First one back in 1988, and the second one coming in 2010. It's quite impressive to win 2 gold medals so many years apart. And of course, for the Japanese, they only have the 1 medal. That was won back in 2016 by Fujisawa. They're a younger curling nation, but their association was founded back in 1985. It's fair to say curling didn't really kick off until the Olympic Games were held in Nagano. And curling definitely growing in Japan in recent years. Lots of media attention. See all the teams come out to the championships. A big following, fans and TV crews and journalists alike. A lot of interest for the teams back home in Japan. A chance for the Japanese fans here this week and at home to get familiar with a new team. The Germans here are actually part of the sports military in Germany. It's essentially their profession to play curling and be a part of that military. Allotted time to hit the gym and be on the ice.
Yeah, bit of a mistake there from Germany though. Annalena Jentsch, the lead player. Sienna Nakamima. Trying to just throw a tight guard. But drifts in to bite the 8-foot.
Well, Scotland, China, lots happened there. On the first 5 ends, now in end 6, it's China with last stone, and looks like a draw. Is it for 2?
Yeah, it certainly looks like a draw for 2. Scotland fought their way back from 6-0 down to only trail by 1. But Abby Brown throwing 4 stones, just hit and rolled to the edge of the 12 there. It's a draw to the 4-foot. 4-2, and it's an 8-5 lead for China.
Saina Nakajima just rolling out there.
few mistakes beginning to creep into this game.
Looking for the hit and roll here. Germany, and second player Fom just over curling, catches the own red and kills it. That was not the plan. It's hoping to roll away and in behind that cover even. So it just leaves those two rocks in the house. Japan has that nibbler. Will make the nose hit on the red. They can sit two. Wouldn't be an awful result for Germany to maybe blank the send though. Carry the hammer into the eighth. Essentially have two last stone advantages against Japan's one. Potentially scoring in ends 8 and 10. That's certainly a tactic a lot of teams employ. Looking at the scoreboard, scoring in the right ends. And Russia plays Korea. It's a tied game, 2 each. Low scoring game so far. Lots of rocks in play here though. It's Korea and Kim Min-ji with last stone, Kenny.
Yeah, Kim Min-ji just trying to score a single point, I believe. Trying to come around these guards into the reds that are in the forefoot. And just nicking the top one. And he's going to roll right through. That looks like a steal of 2 for Russia. They now lead 4-2 after 6 ends.
Beautiful roll here by Abbas. Kills that rock at the back as well. And just fully buried in behind that yellow. That is a perfect hit and roll. Textbook stuff. Those are not easy to pull off. Only downside is that yellow rock is so tight to the rings. Very makeable shot for Shiaki Matsumura to run this one back. At least make contact with the reds. And she will, and even rolls the shooter. A little bit further away. Still something for Germany to hang on to. And they will still go for it. They could have peeled that corner if they wanted to go hard for the blank. But they're going to go and play the draw for a potential score of 2 as we see the other scores. It's Sweden leading Switzerland 5-3. And Swiss scoring a single in the 6th end. Some fairly close games out there this afternoon. As this draw from Emira Abbas. Looking pretty good, fully buried once again. First with the head roll, then with the draw. An excellent pair by the young third here in the 7th end. Really asking the question of Japan. Well, laser focus on the line from Danielle Jentsch, telling her sweepers to get off of it. And needs to curl, and certainly does, and around that guard.
Yeah, see that red stone in behind the yellow guard. Does create a good chance for Germany to score 2.
Let's get the hog-to-hog timer up. We saw it early in the game. It was, I believe it was a 13-9 draw from Danielle Jentsch. That slipped a bit deep. So we might be looking at something like a 14.5 second. That's 14-3, should be pretty close. You see the sweeper's not really on this either. Close it is, but just not quite. Nestles up next to the red.
Well, Japan have got to be very careful with this one. They can't afford to come down and miss their next shot, because Danielle Jens can see the inside of this yellow. She could hit and roll in on top of it. Japan miss their next, they would have a free draw for 3.
Wollen wir ein Stück rüber? So ein Ticken rüber. Wie immer?
10, ja.
Ja.
Chance for Germany to apply some pressure. This one's beginning to move fairly aggressively. Again, lots of rotation, Sander. Tend not to get much of a curl with lots of rotation.
Well, was able to avoid culling her own red there. I'm not sure if that leaves too easy of a double for Japan either. Might see them play the hit and roll on top to slash that double. Very thin. And of course, the thinner a double becomes, the bigger the risk as you don't hit anything at all. And I do think it is the hit and roll. And there's the call for the Japanese here. You can just see from the broom placement, they're expecting more curl from this as they are throwing less weight. Trying to bring the sweepers into play, have a bit more control. Ikue, Kitasawa. Wanting this to just curl enough to make the hit and just roll about a foot. And on top of that, other red, and that is one cracking shot from the young skip, or should I say fourth player.
Yeah, just absolutely kills any chance of Germany making 2.
With so much in control as well. Never any panic. Just a beautiful throw. Matsumura, a little bit of sweeping to keep the line. And that just flops on over. And there you go, the force is on. Went hard to score the 2. That's been taken away from them here. But pretty good chance of scoring the 1. Needs the 8-foot here. Skip Jensch. And we'll be hoping for around 14.5 seconds here as well, I would think. Sweepers not really on it.
Yeah, it just needs to be
14-1
in the 8-foot.
Definitely be far enough. Actually pulls up in time for top 4. So, nice draw again by Danielle Jens. She's been pretty solid with those 4-foot draws when needed. Germany will lead it 7-6 after 7 ends.
Stehen oder? Ganz ehrlich, ich bin mich einfach nicht mehr sicher.
we've gotten everything we've wished for in this game. Some big scores, some dramatic ends, and of course a tight line score here after 7 ends of play. 7-6, Germany leads it as they look to put a second win on the board, sitting at 1-1. Japan is undefeated with 2 wins. Would love to make it 3. How does the playoffs all work, Kenny? 13 teams. How do you make it to the final?
Well, there's quite a few different number of ways of making it to the final. Getting through to the first semi-final, second semi-final. 4 plays, 4, 5, and 6 play each other, and yeah, it's rewards for people finishing higher up the league table. The old top 4, 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. You're not being rewarded for finishing top. You could lose your first 2 or 3 games here, then get on a run, finish 4th. So the momentum's with you. Play someone that finishes first, and there's no real benefit of playing someone that's finished 4th. So I think you should be progressing to a little bit further in the tournament should you be winning most of your games and topping the table. And last stone advantage.
That's jumping over to 2 teams that many might think would be favourites to be at least in the playoffs, maybe fight for gold. Switzerland, Sweden. It's a 2-point lead for the Swedes so far as they play in the 7th end. Draw against 2 for Anna Hasselborg.
Yes, drawn against 2, but she is 5-3 ahead.
Well, she's going to come back down and have a look. Not sure about the call here. They might have a little talk.
If there's a hit, she'll want to play it.
Yeah, might look to play the hit and roll and stand redstone top 4. You see Japan just coming up a bit short with the draw on our sheet on the left, and leaves Germany another chance to come around everything and try and freeze that yellow, or just sit right on top. As we see, Hasselborg has changed her mind, not wanting to draw against 2. Of course, you miss a draw, you give up a steal of 2 points, and it's a tied game. You miss the hit, you only give up 1, and then, well, if you give up a steal 1, you'll still be 1 up with hammer in the 8th end. So maybe just looking at the scoreboard a little bit here, Hasselborg. Maybe just feeling a little more comfortable with the hit. So here we go. We'll have to roll in a bit towards the center line, I believe, to get the shot rock. It's starting to go now, and they can't hold it, I think. And that's going to be a 1 for Switzerland. They're going to have a look, though.
I think they might measure this.
No, that is, I believe, 1 red. But Sweden, as mentioned, will be 1 up with hammer into the 8th end, still in control on Switzerland. As we see Germany with a beautiful draw in a round right on top of that yellow rock in the forfeit. And it's getting awfully cluttered along the center line. And if you're Team Japan, you have last stone, it's not necessarily something you would want. Saina Nakajima just coming after here. It's not really curling for them, and that's because it's just a bit too much weight. We'll make a tap, sit in the corner. It still leaves the inside for Germany. They might be able to come off of this yellow. Roll in, set 2, fully buried. at the inside, actually rolls both of the reds in behind cover.
It's a really nice shot.
Yeah, and Japan in all kinds of trouble here. And yeah, I think it's probably wise to start opening up the front here.
Again, another look at this one. Rolls both reds into the four. Great shot.
And that's a pretty good effort as well by Nakajima. Opens it up. Slight edge on Thom so far in this game. And her hits hasn't been up to scratch, but that was a good one. Now you see Germany also opting for the hit with a couple of yellows in the house. Not going to take that risk of placing the center guard. On the sweep early. Might have been a bit of a soft release from Abbas. This one's really curling on them. I'm actually going to run that back onto the reds. A slight disaster for Germany. And now, all of a sudden, Japan, if they would want to, can hit that red stone lie 3. I'm not sure if you can see here on release, just a little bit soft. Maybe just gets that one going. And just really can't afford to do that with these type of rocks on this kind of surface. You're a little soft. That's just going to start curling on you. Make that hit and set 3. They're maybe hoping to roll away from the center line. They've grouped 2 of them. Germany could either play the double on the yellows or the hit and roll. You see Abbas out in front on Matsumura. She's made some really good shots today. She made one very fortunate one on the second end. That was one big miss though on her first one. And a second half miss here.
9-2.
Sometimes hard to recover. Overcurl your first, there's a bit of an overcorrection on your second. As we look at Russia, Korea, Kim Min-ji trailing Russia by 2. Looks to be a big weight from the Korean skip. Try and rattle a few rocks here for a multiple score. And they kill and move a lot of reds. They do, and they hang around for, I believe, 3. That is a 5-4 lead for Team Korea on Russia. Very close game over there after 7 ends.
Fast der bessere, oder? Aber ich glaube, wir müssen fast Peel, oder? Dass
Voll und schnell, oder?
Ja, ich glaube auch. Wenn er zu dünn ist, haben wir zumindest den Double, weißt? Also wenn man zu dünn hat,
half around that red guard.
So, oder wir gehen gleich auf den Double. Aber halt von außen.
Remember, Japan with last stone here.
Ja, ja, da ist er gut.
Sollen wir den?
Ja. Das meinst du, so, oder? Viel macht er ja nicht bei mir. Ich glaub, das
Just over
reicht.
10 minutes left for both teams. Should be sufficient.
Ja, ist doch gut. Ja.
Also have a timeout left, both the teams. Which would be for 60 seconds plus walking time for the coach to get onto the field of play. And that walking time would depend on after walking to the away or home end. Might come into play later on. So big weight from Jens. Made a huge mistake with her up weights back in the 5th end here. Seems to be a bit closer, makes a double. And that is all the way out. Beautiful shot by Jens.
Yeah, great shot. But still sits 1 against. And that red's back of the tee. So Japan just elected to come around to this back red, try and play the freeze, hope for a mistake, then maybe set up a chance of scoring another 3.
Able to freeze that back red. So see the numbers for the skips very evenly matched so far. Both making some great shots, both missing some shots. Just another day at the office, really, for a curling player.
Die Frage, weißt du, ob wir den versuchen sollen?
Für alle, dass alle 3 gehen.
Ja. Ist aber schwer. Oder nur den clean picken. Aber es ist das Risiko, dass du genau da drauf jammst.
Und den magst du nicht.
Der ist halt, selbst wenn er da drauf ist und sie peelt drauf, hat sie halt wahrscheinlich immer 3. Aber
wie voll kannst du den haben?
Weil ich denke fast, dass das das Sinnvollste ist.
Der Freeze?
Ich glaube, das hat viel Potenzial für Scheiße.
Ja. Wenn du halt ein bisschen hier bist, weil die haben jetzt schon lang gewartet und waren lange von innen dran.
Ja.
Wenn man halt ein bisschen eher von außen und wir sind hier.
Du darfst halt nicht nach innen versetzt sein, du musst halt eigentlich Nase sein.
Genau,
ja.
Nase.
Genau, Nase.
Was dir lieber ist, du kannst auch den Clean spielen. Ich meine, die Länge hast und ich glaube halt, wenn der nicht perfekt
decision
kommt,
time now for Germany. They go after the steal, try and swing one around the outside, back of the 4. Or to try and reduce what Japan can score.
Dass den dann so rüber.
Genau, dass der.
Wie viel willst du den denn nehmen? Ja, genau. So? Und dass es den rausdreht.
Ja. Schnell und ich glaube, ich finde den besser.
Ansonsten, wenn einer weg ist, dann macht sie halt nur 2.
Das ist halt die Gefahr, weil wir müssen halt knapp Eis geben. das mal angehen.
Ja. Wie viel macht es da eigentlich nichts?
Das wissen wir nicht. Ich habe vorhin auch
Yeah,
gedacht,
it looks
das
like
machen
Germany's
die
deciding to
deswegen.
at least peel one of the
Deswegen, es ist halt
yellows out and reduce
Ich glaube, das ist so.
Japan to scoring 2 at the most.
Gut.
I think the thinking behind this is they play the threes
Schnur.
in on the back yellow. They don't quite make it. It could be a shot for 3. Could spray everything.
Ja. Yes. Ja.
Jumped on this one early though. Must be tight for line.
Halt ihn, halt ihn, halt ihn.
Having to go hard. Can they get it past the guard?
Ja. Hart.
Sneaks past. Wow.
Perfekt, Dani.
Picked both. Yellows out of play. I didn't think they could see enough of that one. They got very cute with that tight right guard.
That is one fantastic effort by Dani Eliench. 2 pistols, makes 2 doubles here to deny Japan a multiple score in this 8th end. That is certainly worth watching again. Just picks that clean. I was almost frozen. And all of a sudden, Japan having to draw against 2 German counters. Last stone here for Ikue Kitasawa. She feels she's thrown it hard enough, but sweepers, they want to go. I want to keep this alive, keep this up. It's starting to grab a bit, but sweepers are able to carry this all the way to the forefoot. Nice draw by Kitasawa. Some really good shot making by the skips here. At the finish of the 8th end, it will be 1 for Japan. A tied game again after 8.
Also ganz kurz meinen Schlachtplan.
Ja.
Nehmen wir hier mal mit.
Ich würde schon fast sagen. Wobei die werden uns jetzt hart forcen dann.
Die, ja. Oder
ブランコもちょっとやだよ。
ブランカーされたくない。
とりあえず1個だ。
Two ends to go here. Germany, Japan. It is all tied. 7 each at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019, Session 4. Listening to myself, Sander Ulvåg, joined by curling expert Kenny Edwards. There's been a bit of everything in this one.
Yeah, there's been some good play, some not some bad play, but some missed shots at the wrong times from both teams. And you say there's 2 ends to go, 9 and 10. I think potentially we could be going for an extra end.
Well, that's always the case when two teams are playing so evenly. You see Japan up with the center guard. Of course, they don't want to let Germany blank this end. That would be a huge win for the Germans to have no score here, carry the last zone advantage into the final end. So quite often we'll see lots of fireworks in the 9th end, just depending on how hard the teams go for what they want. Japan might go very hard to try and steal here, or at least get the force. Trying to put a lot of rocks in play. Just at least make sure that blank doesn't happen. With the 5-rock rule in play as well, you wonder if it might be better giving up a 2 than giving up a blank. Can't really know quite yet. We don't really have the statistics for it. It's only been, well, less than a season with the 5-rock rule. It'll be very interesting to see how that turns out at the end of the season. But certainly we have seen quite a few games being won with a score of 3 in the final end. But of course you do see teams steal the game in the 10th end with a tight score as well. Well, jumping over to Scotland, China once again, and although Scotland were clawing back, they give up 2. There was a blank, and now lots of Chinese counters in the house. For Naomi Brown, just drawing for the 1 then.
Yeah, it just needs to be into the 4-foot for a single. This one looks a little bit heavier. Needs something to catch on. Oh, they've left this one late. And it's going to drift to the back 12. And it's going to be a steal of 2 to China and a 10-5 lead after 8.
Yeah, I wonder if that could have been communicated a bit better. Maybe swept onto the backing. So now maybe that game slipping away from Scotland once again, as we see just a whole heap of rocks along the center line. That's exactly what Japan is wanting. And Germany is lying short stone at the moment. Russia plays Korea. It's a close game there as well. Korea up 5-4. And it's Kovaleva with last rock.
Yeah, having to come to something that's in the back of the button.
Looks like just a draw for 1 against this yellow here, back 4. And that is a very well played draw by the Russian skip. That will tie the game 5 each after 8 ends of play.
Sweep by Germans to get that one down into the 8-foot. Japan can make the slash double on this. 2 reds.
Yeah, certainly could. Slash them out, try and open it up a bit, and behind cover. Playing a very controlled weight here. So They were hoping to just keep the shooter right there, and that's also a pretty good option. 2 ways in for Japan here. They can run both those yellows in onto the shot stone.
Ich hab den ganz mitten im Zentimeter Luft. Ja, so.
Am besten wäre schon der.
Ja.
Dass wir den hierher tappen.
Ja, den.
Wenn die Guard aufgeht, ist auch gut.
Ja, 10, 5 oder 10?
Ich glaube 10, 5 reicht.
Ja. Dann nur 10, 5.
Ansonsten geht die Guard.
I'm going to try and get the nose here of the yellow, maybe even a hair on the inside.
Wow!
Ja! Wow!
Very good shot. I think that even tackled the shot stone on the way past.
Ja. 10-0.
Ja.
Beautiful curling shot. And 3 reds in the house for Germany. You can see how those 2 reds are lined up onto the yellow as well.
Yeah, lots of stones around that centre.
Wow, good. I'm not 100% sure if they were expecting that to happen there, Team Japan. That was pretty snug to be able to make that double. Pretty good result. Doesn't kill the second red, but certainly opens it up. But Japan really needs to make a draw in behind here at some point. They're just trying to gain access. As Abbas is throwing this out-turn hit. It's a big sweep from Thom and the younger of the 2 Yenches to get this past the guards. Wonderful sweeping job. And that hits the yellow, hangs around to sit 3. This could be a very make or break end. Look how close that gets that yellow guard, and even the red in the top 12. And is able to roll away. Bringing the best stuff here in the 9th end. And Matsumura looking for the hit and roll back. Underneath cover, but over curls and rolls a bit too far. As we jump on over to Switzerland, Sweden. And it is Sweden with last rock. Anna Hasselborg already up by 1 and a chance to put a couple more points on the board.
Yeah, a very good chance for Anna Hasselborg.
Noch gut, Platz, Sophia. Noch weit.
Hinten 12.
Agnes Knockenhauer, Sophia Malbergs just sweeping this in to the 8 foot. That's your score of 2, and Sweden leads that 7-4 after 8 ends of play. Looking in control. 2 ends to go.
Warum gibt sie mit?
Now a mistake from Abbas on the draw.
Okay.
On our sheet, that goes all the way through the house. And you can see Japan looking at the hit and roll, but I don't know, at this point, to play the draw, come around everything.
The easier shot would be just play the come around everything, Sander.
Yeah. That's fine. Hit and roll is tough, and you're not even going to be top tee. And you put those center guards there for a reason. It might be worth the risk at this point. We'll play the hit and roll. It's a bit of a cautious approach. Down to skip rocks already. And we'll see if you don't make the roll, and Germany makes the hit and roll back. You might be left the exact same situation with Kitasawa's last rock. Then the question, still play the hit and roll or draw? Big sweep here from Matsumura and Ishigoka. Trying to hold the line for their fourth player. This one rolls a bit too far again. Just over curling on that side. And now Germany is going to be the first team to draw into the top 4.
Yeah, get yourself around them guards. Sit top tee, it's very difficult for them to remove you.
The problem with the hit and roll there for Japan is, I think at best they're just maybe hanging on the back of the 4. And Germany's still playing this draw.
Let's take a look at sheet B. Scotland showing China 10 to 5. China just played a nice double with the last to prevent Scotland having a chance to score 4.
Just clean. We're good. Yep.
Still looks like a hit for 2 here for Team Scotland. This one taking off though. And will it roll too far? I think it might. Wang Rei on the sweep, trying to get it all the way out of the rings. Does it spin back? I think it does. And it will be 2 for Scotland. China leads it 10 to 7. There will go one more.
Oh my God, I love it. I would really have to think bad things not to stop myself from laughing here.
Well, that draw coming up a bit deep for Daniela Jentsch, so great opportunity for Kitasawa and Japan to make the draw themselves. Even if you're frozen on the back red here, you force Germany to score their single. If you make a really good one top tee, you might steal, but this one does look a bit hot. Cannot bounce off the back here, needs to pull up in time. It does. Corner frozen on that back red, and that should do it. That should be enough. Do not think Germany can do anything else than draw for 1 here. It's mission accomplished for Japan.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a mistake from Daniela Jentsch. She's going a little bit deep with her draw. Yeah, she's shown half on the outside.
Auf geht's.
Final stone of the 9th. Daniela Jentsch.
Der braucht alles. Alles Länge. Amy. Lass es gut. Sicher. Voll durch. Ihr könnt voll durch. Ihr habt die Auflage dann. Kannst du weg, komm. Kannst du weg. Keine. Sicher nur Enge. Kannst du weg.
Have they made it past Sander? Oh, they have. This one's okay.
Yep, good sweep again here by the German front end. Brings that onto the LGT button. 1 for Germany. And 1 point is all that differ between the teams after 9 ends of play. 8-7 the score before end 10.
Ja, der war jetzt eine Sekunde langsamer. Aber dann hätte die Spur
sau schnell. Bei 14,7 auf der Tee wären wir sonst nicht so schnell gehabt.
Ich habe ihren Kreis von hinten 14,5, mir da auch zu schnell. Und 14,5 war es immer gut eigentlich. Also da
ich habe auch das Gefühl gehabt, ich habe den gerade meinen ersten so gespielt, wie wo ich vorhin dazulegen muss. Und dann die Guard.
Ja, okay. Vorne 8 ist auch gut.
Ja. Außer wir wollen direkt auf Stil gehen.
Vorne 4 dann kurze, finde ich gut.
It all comes down to this 10th end. And it's a very classic scenario, Kenny. Japan is down 1 with last stone, need to score 2 to win the game. How do you play it? If you're Germany, do you go hard and try and steal it right here, or do you just try and keep it clean, try and force Japan, carry the game into the extra with hammer yourself? Is it anything you can really control?
I think there's more of a chance of stealing nowadays with the 5 rock rule. So I'd be going all out, tight guard, long guard, then round it. Try and generate a steal.
Bigger chance of stealing just because teams get a bit too aggressive with the 5 rock rule?
Too aggressive and wrapped up in trying to score their 2. And they can possibly make one call that will tip it in the opposing team's favour.
The 5 rock rule isn't fully thought out by everyone yet. Just although there's been some curling tournaments, some Spiels has played that rule for a few years. It's a bit new for some. As we jump on over to Russia, Korea, tied game, Kim Min-ji with big weight. And it looks like she's just trying to peel out. The 2 reds are half buried around the center guard. What do they get here? 1 and 2. Can they spell the second one all the way out? I don't think so. It's going to hang on. Those are 2 frozen for Kim Min-ji. It's a 6-5 lead for Russia as they move in to the 10th end. A big sweep from Germany again. They've been working hard in this game, but that one will pull up short and leaves those 2 center guards frozen. That's not ideal for the Germans at all. Surprised they're coming around those 2 center guards, Kenny, seeing how they're pretty set up to peel.
Yeah, you just half stone on this right-hand side. They're both going to go, and I think this is something that J.D. Lind, the coach, will be looking at.
Should you come around that corner and just put up?
Yeah, but you can make the. You can play the hitting them and roll across. There's another corner though. You get a double corner on.
Or just put soft weight.
Yeah,
just around the 3 guard zone still.
To quarter stone, just bump across. Yeah. Double corners there.
Well, it does come around all the way to the back 12. Now Germany will come around those center guards, but for the next shot, Japan will probably make a play on those centers. Going hard for line here, this one. is starting to over curl. But they are passed, so maybe a bit heavy with all that sweeping. It's not too bad there, back eight.
Yep.
But just over curls a bit too much. All tight for line. Everything's going to happen in around the center guard. As we jump on over to Switzerland, Sweden, yet again. And Sweden looking very much in control here. They're lying 3, it looks. Alina Petz having to draw for 1. Well, sweep by Barbasat and Neuenschwander brings that one in to the button. Nice draw by Petz, but just a single point. They were hoping for more as they trail Sweden by 2 after 9 ends of play. Well, both teams struggling down this line here. Coming up short.
Yeah, now Germany have a great chance. Get around top of the forefoot.
Yeah, I think Japan just getting all too sucked in around the center guards there. Why not make a play on them, open it up? You've thrown that corner guard for a reason. As you said, you can feel those center guards and even leave the shooter as another corner guard. As we see Germany coming up short again. Some nerves coming into play at this point.
Yeah, I think possibly the ice as well, maybe just 10th end. Pebble began to come off it, slowing down ever so slightly. Team's just not picking up on it.
Du bist Emmy.
We're going to go again. 4 guards up front and around the center line. It's a big sweep to bring this past. They are past now. How far does it go? Does it go far enough to be shot stone? No, that's just going to pull up a bit short as well. That's quite the mess. As we see Germany with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Should be okay. Still enough time. And of course, this end not looking too straightforward. It's not exactly your classic 10th end at the moment. So you've just seen 4 or 5 draws come up short. Thinking to yourself, well, might have had some extra weight. And you just had a bit too much. That one was heavy. And with the heavy weight, it's going to run a bit straighter. Catches the corner guard. And that rolls in towards the center line. Abbas upset here. It's just not working out for either team. Yeah, but it is Germany with shot stone at the back, so for the time being, Germany is winning this game with that 1 point lead as well. And now talking about peeling the center guards. couple of rocks too late.
They were the only stones that were going to cause them any danger, Sander.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. They're all fairly grouped. Would love to move 2. It'd be great to move 3 and also maybe not leave your shooter there as well. Needing some big weight and get that extension from Matsumura. What do they have here? Well, it certainly does move a bit of granite, but there's still a lot of clutter up front. I'm not sure if that does them too much good. Germany still have a chance to come around everything. They can lie 2. Of course, there's a couple of yellow counters in the house.
Yeah, a little surprised they're coming around the out turn.
They seem to have struggled with both turns in this end.
Yeah, there you see Amira Abe is at 33% for her draws.
It's coming a little wider here. This is looking closer. Can they carry this past the yellow? Yes, they can, into the forfeit. There we go. Finally, good draw. And a nice recovery by Amira Abbas. Germany lies 2, Japan in all kinds of trouble now. With all those guards up front. 2 German counters. I think they've just gotten themselves into a mess here. Well, a score of 2 might be having high hopes. It might be just about getting a chance to score the single even now for Japan. Everything a bit closed off. Big weight again for Matsumura. Well, gets a couple of rocks moving, but still just not very an open pathway for them. As it lies, it'd be very tough to score one.
Also Linie hat Priorität.
Ja. Oder?
Ich habe ein bisschen Angst da.
Yeah, so just a guard, I think, for Germany, just to try and protect something out in the right-hand side of the sheet. Force Japan down the left-hand side. Still is a draw down the left-hand side of the sheet.
Läuft doch genau wie vorhin.
Line looks okay. Again, playing the out turn. It's very difficult to land this one wide enough.
Yeah, they're happy to actually get slightly underneath the yellow center guard to leave a stagger. So now hard for Japan to run those rocks back. If even possible. I wonder if you might want to slash the red stone on the right in. That way you at least open up the one turn. As you see, timeout called by Japan, and Josuke Morozumi makes his way down to the ice.
そこの赤に先に当てて薄く当てても下には抜けない。
抜けると回っちゃう感じだね。いやー、これはねえわ。めっちゃ薄かったらいいかな。
だけどちょっと難しいね。で赤が動かないね。それだったら一回ダブル。はい。その7は動かないかもね。 そうだね。
Well, I'm not sure what the decision was, but I think they're going to try and move some granite out front and open up something to give themselves a chance at least scoring one.
Yeah, if you can catch the top yellow on the center line here, just here on the right side, you double off the two overlapped guards, you might catch the red on the right as well. Try and spin your shooter up and out, but you're going to have to throw a lot of weight and hit it very accurately. Of course, Kitasawa is able to do that. Not so high on hits today, but there you go. That's more or less what she could do there. But still, both turns are very much choked off for the button anyway. You would think Germany could just throw another center guard and there would be not a lot left.
Einfach in die Linie. Ich glaube, der Uli checkt nicht, dass wir es nur für die Zeit wollen, oder? Was? Der Uli checkt.
I think Germany just, block something up in the center. And say, okay, Japan, can you draw for your single?
Well, the shot for Japan at the moment would be to run that yellow rock top 12 onto the shot stone. So if you pretty much just guard the yellow rock.
Even the cold in-turn draw, Sander, around the other side. They've still got that.
Still there, but we've seen how the draw has been for them here. Having to come so much wider as well, it'd probably be becoming a bit of a guess for weight and maybe even line. I wouldn't be too unpleased leaving them a draw like that to just tie the game.
They're going hard on the sweeping.
Yeah, he's trying to carry it a bit farther to get the finish, get the curl. And they do. Should be enough. Should cover enough of the yellow. I think the draw is really the only call. Japan has 1 minute 23 seconds left to make a call and kick out the hack.
It's more than enough time on the clock. It's only thinking time, it's not playing time.
Look at that clock and it says 1 minute. Might stress you out a bit, especially if you're a young curler and you're not quite sure what the shot is. But they seem to have made a call. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. The broom's not down, but now it is. I'm still not sure, Kenny. Is this? I'm not sure if you could draw through the port here and cross the center line. I'm not sure if there's room, but that seems to be the call. Be afraid of running out of rings here. You're gonna have to shave those front stones and then hope it doesn't curl so much it pops out of the forefoot. This one has a bit of running on it. Will it hang on these guards? It does get a little tickle off the red, but it's not going to roll far enough. That's a steal of 2 for Germany. Well, we had a huge lead. The Germans let Japan back in the game, and Japan had the last stone in the 10th end. Just a couple of dodgy calls, some poor execution. They found themselves in the right mess. Germany steals the game, 10-7 final score.
Das ist nicht meiner. Das ist meiner.
Yes, I'm coming.
All you need to do is sign the score sheet, and it's official. Another win for Germany. They move to 2 wins, 1 loss. The same for Japan. We're sitting at 2 wins now, dropping their first game of the week. And we're going to jump on over live to Russia, Korea. It is a 6-5 lead for the Russians. Kim Min-ji down by a single. This is a draw. Certainly looks like a draw for 2 and the game for the Koreans. A little bit off and on the sweep. That is always a good sign. Coming into the slide path here. Not touching it. Does it settle in time? I think it does. Kim Min-ji finds the button, at least a back 4. And that is good enough to score the deuce and win the game.
Good game. Thank you. Thank you.
Very close fought game. 7-6 the final score. This young Korean team, definitely one of the contenders this week. They've proven themselves on the tour and the World Cup of Curling, or Curling World Cup rather. As we now join Sweden, Switzerland, Anna Hasselborg with her last rock, just looking to run Switzerland out of stones, and she will make it. So, and Sweden clinches another win. And that was a huge game. Another win for Sweden, 8-5 the final score. And that wraps up the session here this afternoon in Silkeborg, Denmark. All 4 games has ended, but there's more curling this evening. There's more curling all of next week. Taking a look at our future game, Germany-Japan. Seventh end, it's a great hit and roll by Kitasawa to deny the deuce for Germany. Daniela Jentsch having to draw for the single. And that draw is made. Score of 1. In the 8th end. Perfect double by Jentsch, leaving Kitasawa the force as well as she draws. Finds the forfeit for the 1 point, all tied up after 8 ends of play. Into 9th. Kitasawa freezes onto the back red, so Jentsch again drawing for 1. And some nice sweeping from Sister Annalena, and Fohm brings it to the forfeit. Germany would lead it by 1 coming in to the 10th end, where Japan couldn't quite pull off the last rock. Germany actually steals 2 in the end and wins the game 10-7. running through all the scores again this afternoon. Also a 10-7 final score as China beat Scotland. Sweden with that 8-5 win over Switzerland, and of course Korea and Kim Min-ji with that draw to score 2 to win over Russia 7-6. And that's the standings as it looks right now. It's only 2 teams undefeated so far. China with 3 wins, Korea with 2. And Germany, Japan, Russia, Sweden follows closely with a 2-1 record, but lots of games left to be played here. A total of 12 per team. And anything can change. We see Scotland all the way at the bottom at 0-2. They could pick themselves up and turn this week around. It will hardly look like this a week from now.
Daniela, another win. How important was it to get back to winning ways after defeat to Canada this morning?
Well, we really wanted to keep the train rolling, and we thought another win today would help this. And we're happy that we could manage to win against Japan.
You seem to struggle in the 5th end at some point. Can you talk us through the loss of 3?
Well, it was mostly my rock. I flashed on my last, and I think that cost us the 3, obviously. And maybe I could have just played the other hit, but yeah, sometimes stupid things happen, and we came back.
Also coming into this, European bronze medalists, but what are your aspirations for the tournament?
Well, we really know that we won't win a bronze medal every day, so this is very special for us, but we also know that top 8 would be realistic for us, and if we can win more, that's fine, and if we come 8, we're happy.
Okay, thank you, and good luck.
Well, that concludes draw 4 of the LGT Women's World Curling Championship here in Silkeborg, Denmark. More to come. Stay tuned.